All right. Thank you, Heather, for telling me that. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, put yes in the chat. All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right. You should be able to hear me by now. Okay. So sorry about that. All right. So I just want to know, well, first of all, since I was muted, none of you heard what I had to say. So I just want to say, if you're live with me, drop live in the comments section. And if you're watching the replay, then I want you to type replay in the comments. That way, I can come back later on and connect with you. And I want to do a little gut check here, just to kind of find out, where you're at. So I want to know if you've ever laid awake at night, just kind of replaying, all the past mistakes, all the things that you've done, wondering if you'll ever feel normal again. Or have you catched yourself overthinking like every decision, afraid of making the wrong moves? Or have you felt like no matter what you do, you just can't seem to get ahead, like whether it's financially or emotionally or in a relationship? Or maybe you've told yourself, I should be further along by now, so why do I still feel stuck? So if any of that sounds like you, then trust me, you definitely are not alone in this situation. So drop that's me in the comments if you've ever felt this way before. So tonight we are going to be breaking down the biggest mistakes that are keeping you stuck, and more importantly, how to fix them so that you can finally move forward with the confidence and the clarity and peace that you deserve in your life. But before we dive in, I want you to tell me in the chat what has been the hardest part of this season for you. So you can drop one word in the chat, whether it's, you've been dealing with anxiety, loneliness, fear, or self-doubt, or whatever comes to mind first. I want you to drop it in the chat and kind of tell me, what's been the hardest thing for you this season. Because I want to make this a conversation or this conversation as valuable as possible. So I just want to get real about what is weighing on you right now. Hey, Tracy. All right, so let's go. So, all right, because if you're making these mistakes, then they're going to keep you in this cycle of frustration. And I'm here to help you be able to break free from that tonight. So I want you to kind of picture this in your mind. Imagine yourself that you're driving down the road in your car, and instead of looking forward through your windshield, you're actually staring in your rearview mirror. The whole time you're driving, you're staring in your rearview mirror. Well, you can see everything that's behind you, right? Every mistake you did, every bad decision you made, every what if, but you can't see where you're going, right? Like you can't see what's in front of you because you're constantly looking in your rearview mirror. Now, what do you think is going to happen if you continue to look in your rearview mirror? You're going to crash, right? But this is exactly what happens when we focus so much on the past after divorce that we forget to actually look forward. So, again, if you're watching live, I want you to drop live in the comments for me. If you're catching the replay, comment replay so that I know you were here for me. So, I want you to tell me in the comments what's the hardest part of moving forward after divorce? Is it co parenting? Is it feeling alone? Is it self-doubt? Drop one word in the chat for me and tell me what's been the hardest part for you so far. Because the truth is that you are not broken. You are not unworthy. But if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling anxious, or like you can't move forward, then there's a reason for that. So tonight I'm going to be able to break down some of the biggest mistakes that are keeping you stuck, and more importantly, how to fix them. So let's talk about mistake number one, letting anxiety control your decisions. So imagine standing at the edge of this swimming pool. You know, the water, you look down, the water looks deep, and your brain is screaming at you, what if it's too cold? What if you can't swim? What if you look stupid jumping in? So you just kind of stand there, frozen. You're waiting for that perfect moment, but the longer you wait, the scarier it feels. Well, that's exactly what anxiety does for you. It keeps you on that edge and it's convincing you that you're safer staying stuck. So, how many of you feel like your brain is constantly screaming worst case scenarios at you all the time? What if I can't do this alone? What if I fail again? What if I never feel happy? And so instead of making decisions that actually move you forward in life, you stay stuck in this loop of fear. You overthink, you second guess, and before you know it, months have passed and you're still standing in the same place. But here's the truth. Waiting to feel ready is a lie. If you don't need to feel 100% confident to take action, you gain confidence by taking action. You know, the second you jump in, your brain realizes, oh, well, this isn't as scary as I thought it was. It actually keeps you waiting for the fear to disappear, and you'll be waiting forever if you're waiting on your fear to disappear. So if you feel like you have fear that is holding you back, then you can get my 118 journal prompts, and those will help you start shifting into something that can help you overcome this fear. Now, mistake number two is actually tying your confidence to your past. So let's say you go to a restaurant and you order a dish you used to love. But when you take a bite of it, you realize that your taste buds have changed. It's not good anymore. So do you force yourself to keep eating something that's not good anymore? No. You order something new, right? But in life, we don't do this. We keep forcing ourselves to define our worth by outdated versions of ourselves. Who we were in our marriage, who we were in our past, but you are not that person anymore, and that's okay. So I want to know, how many of you still see yourself through the eyes of your ex? Through the eyes of who you were years ago? Maybe you're still holding on to that guilt or that shame or that feeling of I'm not good enough. But I want you to listen to me. Your past is not your prison sentence. Who you were is not who you have to be. And if you keep defining yourself by your past mistakes or by what someone else thought of you, then you are handing them the pen to write your story. So it's up to you to take it back. Your worth is not based on what happened before. It's based on what you decide right here, right now, today. Who do you want to be, and what kind of woman are you becoming? You know, that's the question you need to answer. So, mistake number three is waiting to feel ready to move forward. And I've heard this from a lot of women. I'm not quite ready yet. So I want to ask you a question. Have you ever sat on the beach watching your kids run into the ocean? You know, they're out there, they're playing, they're laughing, they're splashing around, they're having the time of their lives. But you sit there thinking, well, I'll go in when the water feels warmer. I know I've said that before. And then before you know it, the sun set and you never got into the water. Well, that's exactly what happens when you want to feel ready to move forward in life. If you wait, then you're going to miss out. So, like I said, so many women tell me, I just need more time. But let's be honest, is time really the issue? Or is it that deep down you're scared to step into the unknown? And I totally get it. Like moving forward means stepping into something unfamiliar. And that feels risky, right? But let me tell you, the biggest risk is staying exactly where you are right now. And the only way to start feeling ready is to actually start. And it's messy. It'll make you feel uncomfortable, but staying stuck is even worse than that. So let's talk about the number one mind shift that changes everything from reacting to choosing. So imagine that you are sitting on the couch and someone else is holding the remote control to your life. Every time they push a button, you react. They rewind you back to painful memories. You feel sad all over again. They fast forward to the future and then they flood you with all this fear. You panic and then they pause. You get self-doubt and you stay stuck. Now, what if I told you that handing people this remote to your entire life, your ex, your past mistakes, your fear, even your own self-doubt, that they're controlling it? But the thing is that you can take it back. You can take back control of that remote control and you can control your own life. And the moment you do that, then everything changes. Right now, most of us are reacting to life instead of choosing how we want to live. But let's be real. If your ex sends a nasty text, do you react with anger, spiraling for hours upon hours? If someone judges you for being divorced, do you react by feeling ashamed or by shrinking back? If things get hard financially, do you react with panic, telling yourself you'll never figure it out? Every time that you react, you are reinforcing the idea that you don't have control. And I know that's not who you want to be. The truth is, you always have a choice, even when it doesn't feel like it. So let me show you how, by making just a few shifts in your mindset, you can shift everything for yourself. So think about your old mindset, okay, the one that you've kind of been in, you know, the one where you are reacting to everything. You know, where you're saying, like, my ex is ruining my life. I'll never feel confident again. I'm scared of making the wrong decision. You know, this mindset just keeps you reacting over and over and over again, feeling stuck. Now, if you choose to shift your mindset, which is truly all you have to do is just actually say to yourself, you know what? I'm not going to believe that anymore. This is what I'm going to believe. And you choose to believe and say to yourself, you know what? My ex doesn't control my peace. I do. I get to rebuild my confidence on my terms. Any decisions that I make is a step forward and I can adjust as I go along. You are letting your past, your fears, and other people not dictate your life anymore when you change your mindset. You're taking control. You become the one that's holding the remote control now. And you might be thinking, you may be sitting here going, okay, yeah, great. This sounds okay. I understand. But how do I actually do this? Well, I'm going to show you step by step here tonight. So, first thing you have to do when something triggers you, whether it's your ex, it's a financial struggle, or self-doubt, you need to stop. Don't respond immediately. Take a breath. Ask yourself, am I reacting emotionally or am I making a choice that aligns with who I want to be? If you want to be confident, you want to be at peace, then that's who you need to start acting like. You need to decide right now, who do I want to be? And then ask yourself, what would the most secure, empowered version of me do in this moment? And then that's what you do. You don't react. And then you're going to take one small action. Your brain is wired to stay in familiar patterns. So, did you know that we have this little system called our RAS system that keeps us in about 12% in a 12% bubble of our world? Like we only see about 12% of our reality every single day. So, an example of this would be like, when you go and you buy a car and you bring it home, you're driving your new car around, and all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere on the road. That is your RAS system because now that new car is in your 12% bubble, and now you start to see it. So you have to train your mind, you have to train your brain, you have to choose differently. You have to step outside of that 12% bubble and start small. So things like, before where maybe with your ex, you kind of engaged in the drama that, you and him got into, stop engaging. Set boundaries for yourself. Don't let everybody in. Choose positive thoughts instead of negative ones. You are not powerless. You are not a victim of your past, and you are not stuck. You get to choose how you respond to life. You get to choose what kind of woman you become after divorce. And when you start making choices from a place of competence instead of reaction, your entire life will shift. So drop a fire emoji in the chat if you're ready to take that remote control back and start choosing your future. And I know at this point, many of you are thinking, okay, I see where I've been stuck, but what do I actually do about it? Well, right now you have two choices. You can keep doing what you've been doing, feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and actually second guessing yourself every step of the way. Or you can take the fastest, most effective path to real healing, to confidence, and a life that actually excites you again. So, if I could give you a step-by-step roadmap, one that removes all the guesswork, helps you release the emotional weight that you've been carrying, and shows you exactly how to rebuild your confidence, would you take it? Well, this is exactly why I created Bloom with Balance. This isn't just another program. It's the framework that I wish that I would have had when I was drowning in all of my guilt, all of my fear, all of my uncertainty. It's the exact process that I have used to help countless women break free from guilt, rebuild their confidence, and create a future that actually feels good to them. So here's what happens when you actually follow the process. You're able to release the guilt, the shame, the doubt that has been keeping you stuck. You've rebuilt all of your confidence from the inside out without needing validation from anyone else. You get to create a clear vision for your future, one that actually excites you, and you attract healthier relationships, starting with the one that you have with yourself, which is the most important one. And you wake up feeling lighter, at peace, and actually excited about your life. So now I want you to fast forward 1 year from today. And I want to know, are you still feeling lost? Repeating the same patterns and wishing things would change? Or are you standing in your power, confident and at peace with where you're headed? This is the choice that you get to make right now. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to drop the word ready in the comments or send me a DM right now. And I will personally reach out to you and we'll have a quick chat and we'll see if Bloom with Balance is the right fit for you. And if it's the right next step, I will walk you through exactly what that looks like. If it's not the perfect fit, that's okay. I will point you towards something that is. Either way, you're going to walk away with the clarity that you need and a plan. So if you're ready to stop making these mistakes and actually start creating a life that you love, then I want us to talk. I want you to drop ready in the chat for me. So I just want to say thank you all so much for joining me here tonight. I hope that this resonated with you. Remember that if you're watching live, type live in the chat. If you're watching the replay, type replay in the chat and I will reach out to you. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you all have a great week and I will talk to you soon.